What is a factory design pattern method? So, the factory design pattern method is a foundational creational pattern used to outsource object instantiation, promoting loose coupling and the open close principle. So, the open close principle is one of the principles in solid used in object oriented programming in Java, and its definition is that software entities like classes, method, modules should be open for extension but closed for modification. We try to limit or we prohibit modification at all costs. So we build our software in a manner where we can easily extend the functionality of it as we scale, um, rather than making updates or alterations to the code. Yeah, I'll touch a bit later on that on the next slide. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So, the factory design pattern method example. So, in the factory design pattern method, the factory design pattern, we usually have our product interface, our concrete class, and then our concrete class or concrete classes, and then our factory class, which is a factory class is responsible for actually creating all these objects. Um, yeah, so start with a nice overview. Here we have the product interface. Um, yeah, there it is. It's an animal product interface. That means since on this factory design pattern example we'll be creating animals, that's why our product interface goes by animal. And below that we have our concrete classes. As you see here below, we have the dog class implementing the animal interface, and below that we have the cat class implementing the animal interface. And as you see here above the interface, we expect all animals to make a sound. So after implementing the interface, we are forced to have a functionality of a sound for the dog. And as you see here, we are printing out the dog box woof woof whenever the sound method would be invoked for the dog object, and for the cat object we say the cat meow. um, yeah these are the concrete classes. These concrete classes extend our product interface, which is our main interface. And let's go to the next slide. The next slide is the factory class. The factory animal class. So the factory animal class is the class that is responsible for creating the animal objects depending on the type that is passed in. As you can see there above, we have the type enum. It has the cat and the dog. The two concrete classes that we had on the slide previously. So this factory class have a static method, which is create animal. So we take in the animal type. If the type is of type dog, we return the dog object, and if the type is from cat, we return the cat object. If we didn't pass nothing in as an argument, we just say insert animal type, since we throw an exception of that says the user should insert the animal type, because that we need an animal value for us to be able to create the animal. So before, we must have seen that I've touched base on the open close principle and solid principle. So that means all we have to do, let me go back to the previous slide. If we were to want to add a for example a fox class, we just create the public fox class and extend the animal and then make the sound that and implement the method of the sound, which would be the sound that the fox would make. And the only thing that we need to do is just come here to this create animal method and add the case for the fox, and then we should return the fox object. You don't have to modify any places, any code, do any alteration. It's more of like we extend the functionality instead of doing any modifications to it, to existing code. It's quite nice. It scales quite nicely. Yeah, and then here we have our main class. See the main class. Yeah, we have our animal product class, dog, and yeah, I named it dog instead of animal because like my intent was to create a dog and call the animal factory class dot create animal method. And as you see here, I've passed in the dog enum, and then if I invoke the dot sound, if I want the animal to make the sound, the expected results that should be printed out should be the dog barks woof woof, since that's what I have for the dog subclass that implements the animal class. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's your factory design pattern method. So now the next thing that we'll do, we'll code the example and just talk about it as we code it, as we recode this example on our IDE. So please stay tuned. Let's go. So now let's code our factory method design pattern. Okay, let me do this. Animal, let's start with our product interface and have our sound method signature that we would like all our concrete classes to implement. Let me start off with our concrete class dog, which is an animal. Implement animal interface, implement sound. Okay, done. Whenever we invoke the sound method, the dog sound method, we expect the dog barks woof woof to be printed out. Let's try the cat concrete class. Implement animal interface. So the cat meow. The cat meow meow. So these are our two concrete classes that implement our animal product class. And then let's create our enum type. Type enum. This enum will help us decide which object to create inside our factory class. And then let's go to our factory class, create our factory class, our animal factory class, the class that will be responsible for creating our animals. So let's make it public static animal and create animal. So we expect to pass in the animal type. We expect the user to pass in the animal type, animal enum type, which will be our dog or our cat, and from the type that is passed in, we will create a animal object from that type. So let's return switch type. Some case new cat, and when it's a dog that's passed in, some new dog, and case when it's a null, let's pass in, we throw an exception, throw new illegal argument exception, please pause, please insert a animal type. Whenever a user passes in a null value, a null type, this is just a safeguard. So let's verify. Okay, we have our animal product type, product interface, and then our concrete clauses that actually implement the sound signature, which is the sound method, which is at our animal product. We have it for our cat. We have our cat concrete clause, and we have our dog concrete clause. And then let's go over to our main and test this out. I'm going to say animal and get the animal filtering class, create type. Yeah, let me take in the dog. Yeah, that sound, what I expect, the sound that I'm expecting to come from this animal is woof woof, since I've taken in the dog argument. Yeah, let's test that out. Wow, look at that. The dog barks woof woof as expected. And then let's try to create another animal. So animal factory class, dot colon, static class, same type, cat, typical cat. The sound that we want to come from the second animal is the cat meows. Is the cat meowing? But let's put that with test. Oh, lovely. There we have it. The cat meow, meow. And on top we have the dog barks woof woof. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thanks, yeah, for staying with me. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, so yeah, this concludes our factory method design pattern example through code. Yeah, so